What's up, Tailgaters? My name is Tailgate Nate. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm here for you guys. I'm going to be doing my first round only NFL mock draft. I did this last year as a college football channel. I feel like it's important to talk a little bit about the college prospects and what they might do at the next level. This is not a prediction video. Well, I guess in a sense it kind of is a prediction video, but it's also like my opinion, throwing some things here, what I think teams should do in the draft. So let's go ahead and get right into it. But first, if you're new to the channel, please make sure subscribe, like, comment, anything you can help support the channel does mean a lot to me. Getting pretty darn close to 500 subscribers. And again, as soon as I get done with school here, you're going to start to see college football content ramping up, off-season predictions, team preview projections, stuff like that. But let's get in here to the NFL draft. I'm going to try to keep this video nice, simple, short, talk a little bit about the prospects, and tell you who they're picking. So with the second straight year, the Jacksonville Jaguars have the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft. And honestly, to me, this is down to two players. The hype surrounding Travon Walker as the #1 pick sounds real. I don't think I'm going to buy it quite yet. I do like Travon Walker. I think there's some stuff he needs to work on. But I think while this particular player might not be the best defensive rusher in the draft, I do think he is the most consistent. And with that, the #1 overall pick, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking Aiden Hutchinson. Watching him in Michigan this year was a revelation. He was phenomenal. He was very consistent, great edge rusher, and the Jacksonville Jaguars can really use him. So I have Hutchinson being the #1 overall pick, which means I do have Travon Walker falling to #2 to be drafted by the Detroit Lions. Again, edge rusher, another one of their needs. I've already talked about Travon Walker a little bit. I do think he is a very, very good edge rusher, and definitely could be one of the future stars in the NFL. So Travon Walker there, I see going as #2. What I will say about these two players, though, whichever one does not go at #1, the other one will be going at #2. So if you want to flip them, I don't have a problem with it. I just think that Aiden Hutchinson right now, in my opinion, is a little bit better than Travon Walker because of his consistency. All right. In the third position here are the Houston Texans. Now, I have the Texans taking a little bit of a risk with this pick here. And that being said, you look at their first need here. Oh, by the way, I'm doing this on the Draft Network draft machine. You can go do your own mock draft, share it around, and stuff like that. But I have the Texans here at #3, taking a little bit of a risk. He was the best corner freshman in 2019, has kind of stumbled and not really been super healthy since then. But I think all in all, taking a risk on this player is worth taking, and I think that player is Derek Stingley. I think Derek Stingley will be the #3 pick off the board, and I think the Texans should be able to take a gamble on him. And if they can develop Derek Stingley's issues and things like that, I think Derek Stingley can be one of the best corners in the NFL here within the coming half decade. With the Jets picking here at #4, they got to satisfy the biggest the biggest need off their board right away, the offensive tackle position, and it's definitely between these two guys right here, Evan Neal, Ikem Ikongwu. Who is it that's going to be the pick? And for me, I think either one of these would be a fine pick, and I think whichever one doesn't get taken here is definitely going to be taken at #5 by the New York Giants. But I have the Jets selecting Ikem Ikongwu at #4, and I've already talked about it. Evan Neal of Alabama, I do think will go #5. So those two players, phenomenal tackles. They're going to serve their purposes really, really well at the next level. I see both of them having a fine career. I think that's a great pickup for the Giants and Evan Neal, and I think that's a phenomenal pickup for the Jets and Ikem Ikongwu. Both of them were really good during their spans in college, which brings us to #6, the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Carolina Panthers may very well in this scenario take best player available, in which case Kayvon is still there, Ahmad Gardner is there. You got a guy like Garrett Wilson, Charles Cross. All of these guys would be fine, but I see them going in a little bit of a different direction. I think that the Carolina Panthers are looking at this draft and thinking, people may be underrating the quarterback class here. And that's where I think that they're going to go here. I do think that they are going to be taking a quarterback, and most definitely it's going to be one of these guys right here, one of these 5 guys right here. but I see the player that the the Carolina Panthers are going to take from the Pittsburgh Panthers, Kenny Pickett. I do see Kenny Pickett being the first quarterback taken off the board. And therefore, I do see the Carolina Panthers out of the Pittsburgh Panthers selecting Kenny Pickett. At number 7 here for the New York Giants, this is going to be a phenomenal pickup for them. Kayvon is slipping. His draft stock again is kind of unknown. He could go 1 or 2. Again, it's not likely, but he could. Otherwise, he could possibly even fall out of the top 10. Who knows where Kayvon is going to be ended up? But I think with the New York Giants here, you picked up your guy in Evan Neal. You go with the best player available, and that's either going to be Kayvon or Ahmad Gardner, but you go where you need more help, and that is edge rushing. So that is Kayvon Thibodeau's time to go at number 7. And for the Falcons here, I think this is a pretty easy pickup with the 3 edge rushers off the board. You could possibly pick up a Garrett Wilson type player here, but then you would be leaving Ahmad Gardner for everyone else to fend for. And that is just too good of a prize not to take. So I do believe the Falcons will select Ahmad Gardner with the 8th pick. He's a very, very good corner. Loved him at his time at Cincinnati. I think he's going to do great things at the next level. And I think the Falcons are going to be the ones that pick him up here. All right, at number 9 here, I do see the Seahawks picking up that offensive tackle position. Now, they very well could surprise a lot of people and pick a quarterback here. If Kenny Pickett is still available on the board, they could go after them. Of course, you've got guys like Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder. There's Matt Corral, Carson Strong, other guys there too that I could see Seattle taking, but I don't think they will because this guy is still available and on the board. Charles Cross out of Mississippi State, which I do think will be that number 9 pick. Now, the number 10 pick by the New York Jets, it's no secret that they're going to take a wide receiver with one of those first 2 picks. I can't see them doing it with that first pick, though, at number 4, because that's just you're missing so much with a talent like Ikem Ikongwu. Here at number 10, there are a lot of talented wide receivers in this class. But in this mock draft, the Jets get the most talented wide receiver in the draft, and that is Garrett Wilson out of the Ohio State University. Garrett Wilson, what more do you want me to say about him? I've said so much about him. Me being an Ohio State fan, logo on the other side. Me being an Ohio State fan, I've said so many great things about this kid. I thought he was going to be great at the next level. He's going to get a chance to prove it here with New York, which is where I think he's going to end up going. Number 11 here are the newly renamed Washington Commanders. Say what you will about the name. In my opinion, it's just better to accept it and move forward than to keep dwelling back on it. But anyway, the former Washington football team, now Washington Commanders, will be taking Drake London with the 11th overall pick. Drake London, a very talented wide receiver whose draft stock has risen quite a bit since the end of the college football season. He's done really good things at USC. Is a phenomenal athlete, and I think the Washington Commanders will pick him up here with the 11th overall pick. The Vikings, that secondary needs help, and Ahmad Gardner may be gone. Derek Stingley may be gone, although in the real draft tomorrow on Thursday, you may very well still see that guys like that on the board. But I think that the Minnesota Vikings here will attest to their biggest need here. I could see them going with a guy like Jordan Davis, Devontae Wyatt, an interior defensive lineman, but I do think they will go for a secondary player, and Kyle Hamilton is still on the board out of Notre Dame. Phenomenal safety, ball hawking safety, which is what the Vikings need. And I think Kyle Hamilton will be the pick here. Now, the Texans took a little bit of a risk on a player with their first pick at number 3 in drafting Derek Stingley, but they still get their edge rusher that they would like. Jermaine Johnson on the board. And I think Jermaine Johnson will very well be the pick by the Texans at number 13, if everything else before it were to stay in shape. Now time to go maybe slightly off of this, the Draft Network's predictive board here. But this guy right here, Trent McDuffie, I think he's going to end up being the pick at number 14 by the Baltimore Ravens. Trent McDuffie is a phenomenal talent coming out of the University of Washington. He is lights out. He is really, really good. Just a phenomenal talent at corner. And I think he's going to do amazing things at the next level. Definitely the type of guy that Baltimore is looking for there as well. Can kind of play a little bit of safety if need be too. But again, he's best at that corner position. And that's where Baltimore needs help. So Trent McDuffie definitely should be the pick here. For the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the pick that might surprise quite a bit of people, but I'm not too sure. So a lot of people have the Eagles taking a wide receiver here with this 15th pick. And in my opinion, I think you can wait for it because the Chargers aren't looking for one. You know that the Saints are going to take one. So if the Eagles wanted to, they could reunite Alabama teammates, pick up Jameson Williams here. Yeah, so they could pick up Jameson Williams, get together Alabama teammates. Of course, they never played with each other. Smith was gone. Jameson Williams came in. But I could very well see that being the pick. But I see the Eagles going in a different direction. I see them taking an offensive lineman with this 15th pick because there are two guys on the board that are way too talented to pass up at this point. You got a guy like Zion Johnson, and you got a guy like Trevor Penning. Tackle position, not really huge need for the Eagles. So I have them selecting the interior offensive lineman in Zion Johnson out of Boston College. I know that pick may surprise a lot of people, but again, very well could see it happen. Would it surprise me to see this pick be Jameson Williams or Chris Olave, one of those? No, it would not. But speaking of which, the Saints are up here and they will be taking a wide receiver with this 16th overall pick. And I believe that the Saints, you have to go with the best wide receiver on the board. And as much of an Ohio State fan as I am, logo on the other side, I do believe that Jameson Williams will be the pick here at number 16. In my opinion, he's got a higher upside than Chris Olave. He's a little bit more NFL ready than Chris Olave right now. But hey, I could easily see Chris Olave being the pick here at 16 as well. 17 for the Chargers. This works out perfectly in their favor. Trevor Penning, by far the best offensive tackle still on this board out of Northern Iowa. And the Chargers are going to pick him up here with the 17th overall pick. Really easy selection here. If Trevor Penning is available at this point, you go ahead and take him. Even if Zion Johnson is available, hey, you go ahead and pick him up too. The Chargers need offensive line help. They'll take whatever offensive lineman they can get here with the 17th overall pick. With the 18th overall pick here, the Philadelphia Eagles do get their wide receiver, and it is going to be Chris Olave from the Ohio State University. So the second Ohio State wide receiver to be taken within the first round of the NFL draft. And there you go. So Chris Olave, Zion Johnson, the two picks by the Eagles here. But now the Saints get another pick here as well. Oh, by the way, I thought I should mention, I'm not trading any first round picks. It makes it a lot more confusing and it's a lot harder to predict. But I mean, I guess that's part of the fun of the draft. Might be able to do that next year. But this year, again, I'm not trading picks. I'm just going down the line. I hope that was clear and obvious. Number 19, the Saints. Look, Jordan Davis has fallen too far at this point. I don't think Jordan Davis will fall out of the top 20. The Saints, that pass rush has not been very good the past couple of years for the Saints. So Jordan Davis, I do think, will be the pickup here at number 20. Now, it's no secret who the Pittsburgh Steelers like in this draft. And in fact, he happens to be the top prospect left on the Draft Network's predictive board. It's Malik Willis. We know how much the Mike Tomlin likes Malik Willis. We know how much the Pittsburgh the fans are raving about Malik Willis as well, right? I know some people are going to have their quirks, but again, Willis, he also could very well be the pick that the Carolina Panthers go with if they end up selecting a quarterback with that pick there. Could very well end up as that, but Malik Willis, if he's available and the Steelers are on the clock, you know that that is going to be the pick for the Steelers. So at number 20, Malik Willis is that pick there. Okay, number 21, the biggest need for the Patriots is obviously that linebacking position, as shown here by the Draft Network. That just gave away some of their other better linebackers, trades, free agencies, stuff like that. So I think they take by far the best linebacker available in this draft class, and that is Devin Lloyd out of Utah. The man can eat, and he is ferocious. He is vicious. Devin Lloyd is going to do phenomenal things at the next level. and being coached under Bill Belichick, a defensive coach, he is going to get developed like crazy. So Devin Lloyd here at number 21 for the Patriots. Very, very good pick. Now the Packers, who have 2 picks in the first round here at 22 and later 28. With the number 22 pick overall here, though, I do see them taking a wide receiver. In between the 2 picks, there's just too much risk, right? You don't know who else is going to want to take the prize wide receiver, and you take the best wide receiver that's available on this board, and that is Treylon Burks out of Arkansas. If you guys have watched this channel, you know how much I adore Treylon Burks. I think Treylon Burks is amazing. Great ball hawking ability, great leaping ability. Treylon Burks is going to do amazing things at the next level, and I would not be surprised if he were to end up going in the top 15 of the draft. Maybe if the Eagles were to pick him at 15, the Saints at 16, maybe even higher. I really do think Treylon Burks could end up being looked at as a possible steal of this draft for the Packers with how far he may have fallen, quote unquote. I know this is right around the range where he's projected to be going in a lot of mock drafts, but Treylon Burks, I think, could be looked at as the steal of the draft, and the Packers definitely need that wide receiver help after Devontae Adams left, after Marquez Valdes-Scantling left. Packers need that help. Treylon Burks is their guy. Go after him. Get him with that 22nd overall pick. With the 23rd overall pick, selecting the Arizona Cardinals, to me, it's down to one of 2 guys. It's Kaiir Elam and it's Andrew Booth. And really, I think either of these 2 guys would be a fine pick here for the Arizona Cardinals. But I see them selecting Andrew Booth out of Clemson. In my opinion, I do think Andrew Booth has a little bit of a higher upside. Not much. Not much at all. But I do think Andrew Booth may be a little bit of a more NFL ready corner up to this point. He's gotten to play in the bigger games, has got the bigger moments, and I think it's developed in a better system, right? Kaiir Elam at Florida, that defense has never really been phenomenal, but Kaiir Elam has done really, really good things for Florida defensively. I do think Andrew Booth will be the pick there, though. At number 24 here, I have the Cowboys selecting an offensive lineman, and that is Kenyon Green. I do think Kenyon Green will be that pick there. Definitely a need for the Cowboys. I know they probably could have gone the way of corner. Kaiir Elam is on the board. That would not surprise me. Get some other help in the defensive side of the ball as well. But I think one of the most important things in the game of football, and it's definitely something you don't go cheap on, much like quarterbacks, are offensive linemen. You want to be able to keep your quarterback back in that pocket for as long as possible. Kenyon Green is a guy that can help you do that on the inside. He's a great run blocker as well, can really open up the holes for guys like Elliott and Pollard back there. So the Cowboys keep adding to their roster here. So now at pick 25, the Bills are set everywhere. Their secondary is really good, although I could see them taking Kaiir Elam to kind of bolster that secondary. According to this, it is their top need in cornerback, so would not surprise me in the bit. But I think the Bills go in a different direction here. I think the Bills, while I do like Devin Singletary, I don't think the Bills are quite satisfied with Devin Singletary. Let's add a little bit of depth to that running back room, and what better way to do it than to take, in my opinion, the best running back in this group. Look, it's going to come down to Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker, but I think Breece Hall has proven himself so much more at the college level. You just have to do it. Breece Hall is the pick at number 25 for the Buffalo Bills. Give a little bit of depth to that running back room. At number 26 here, I see the Titans taking a wide receiver. The only wide receiver that probably should be taken in the first round that hasn't been yet, Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson is a phenomenal speedster out of Penn State. Penn State loves these speedy, athletic wide receivers, and that's exactly what Dotson is. He's going to bring out athleticism, speed, the ability to burn corners to this Titans attack. I could very well see them going with a quarterback here, but I think the Titans organization, fan base, not so much, but the organization might be on that Ryan Tannehill train. Of course, they gave him that big contract, so why not give him some weapons to work with? And that is Jahan Dotson. The Bucs are going to satisfy their biggest need here, and the Bucs are going to do what the Bucs do, and that is draft Iowa offensive linemen. So Tyler Linderbaum will be the pick here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now the Packers are back on the clock after selecting Treylon Burks with the 22nd overall pick. The 28th overall pick will be satisfying their second biggest need, and that is the pass rushing ability. And I think you take the best edge rusher on the board. Boye Mafe could very well be a pick, and I think Boye Mafe is a sneaky contender to go in the first round. Definitely could see him go in the first round here as well, but I do think George Karlaftis will end up being the pick here for the Green Bay Packers. Karlaftis, in my opinion, could have been a top 10 pick. His draft stock is kind of fallen. Again, I think the Packers get 2 steals in this draft because I could see Burks going way higher. I could see Karlaftis going way higher, and both of them going to the Green Bay Packers to satisfy their 2 biggest needs, which is phenomenal for the Packers. The Chiefs, now with 2 straight selections here, picking 29th and picking 30th. Devontae Wyatt has fallen too far up to this point here, so I think Devontae Wyatt will be the pick here as well. There's not really a good wide receiver you can take here. And then with the 30th pick here, I do believe, Nakobe Dean is tempting here at this point. You can help satisfy linebacking group, but I do think you take a bigger need here, and that is corner Kaiir Elam, a phenomenal corner on the board. I think Kaiir Elam will be taken with the 30th overall pick. Now, again, they very well could take Kaiir Elam 29, Devontae Wyatt 30. That doesn't really matter. It's still back-to-back picks. I predict that these will be the 2 guys that the Chiefs will take. And guys that I think the Chiefs should take, right? Bolster that defensive line, right? You can go after guys like Debo in the offseason, right? Maybe make a trade for him. I know you just made that Tyreek Hill trade, but maybe make a trade for him as well. So something to keep in mind there. With the 31st pick, the Cincinnati Bengals, you have to pick an offensive lineman. If the Cincinnati Bengals do not take an offensive lineman here with that 31st overall pick, I think a lot of heads are going to be turned. And I think the pick that's going to be made here, going maybe slightly off the board, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, is Bernhard Raymond. So Bernhard Raymond, I do see being that pick out of Central Michigan. And that is the pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now here at number 32, back to the Detroit Lions. They had the 2nd overall pick. They had the 32nd overall pick because the Rams don't pick in the first round. You guys know how the Rams work. And I think the pick here is pretty easy for me. While it could be Daxton Hill, Boye Mafe, any one of these guys here, I see the Lions taking their next quarterback. And that to me is Desmond Ridder. I see Desmond Ridder being that quarterback that is taken. And there you go. There is my draft. I'll let this scroll here while I do my outro. So, hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Here was my mock draft. The number 1 overall pick in the 2022 NFL draft is Aiden Hutchinson out of the University of Michigan, followed by Travon Walker, Derek Stingley, Kemba Kongwu, Evan Neal at top 5, so on and so forth. You guys are seeing my picks go through the screen now for those of you that like to skip to the end of the videos and not listen to me explain the knowledge here between my picks. Basically, what I think is going to happen in this first round is there are so many talented players here. I do think that teams are going to be either taking the best player on the board or they're going to be satisfying their biggest needs. Either one of those 2 things are going to happen. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. Also consider subscribing. We are very, very close to that 500 subscriber mark. Please help me get there before the start of the next college football season. Really excited for that season to start, by the way. And hey, while you're at it, leave your first round mock draft down in the comment section below if you shall, please. I'd be happy to look over them. But the most important thing to remember, guys, as always, is remember to play hard, but tailgate harder. I'm going to let these picks here finish scrolling through the screen, and I'll see all of you guys around May. And that is going to be my updated way too early top 25. Goodbye.